Kellen Moore has been hired as the Saints' new head coach. My initial thoughts on this hire is that this was a desperate move by the Saints. They were in a situation where they didn't have too many great candidates that were really interested in this job. This was really the worst available job available during this offseason. The Saints are $51 million under their cap. They have a bad quarterback situation. Mickey Loomis has done a poor job drafting. You have an aging veteran defense. Kellen Moore has a lot of obstacles that he has to overcome in order to succeed in New Orleans. A big pro about this hiring is that Kellen Moore is pretty experienced. He's been a coordinator for multiple different teams. He's had success at a variety of different stops. He was the Cowboys head coach for a pretty good time. He had pretty good success there. Did a fantastic job calling plays for the Philadelphia Eagles this past season. His stint in the Chargers, I don't hold against him too much because Justin Herbert got injured, and then Brandon Staley was just an awful head coach. Overall, you are getting somebody that has been in demand for the last couple of cycles when it comes to potential head coaching jobs. What's funny is back in the early 2010s when Kellen Moore was playing for Boise State, he actually played against Derek Carr early during the season. And it's funny how everything's come full circle years later. Derek Carr's still playing, and now he's going to be his head coach now. That's just funny. But I am giving the Saints hiring Kellen Moore a chance because the NFC South is the weakest division in the NFL. You have Raheem Morris, Todd Bowles, Dave Canales. None of these coaches are good at all. Kellen Moore, if he's a halfway decent coach, there's a chance that the Saints could overachieve with him. He is a solid X's and O's coach. If he's a good culture builder and he can get this locker room rallied behind him and they can really believe in his vision for the direction that he has for this team, there's not a reason why New Orleans couldn't be a potential sleeper team next season. Not in terms of winning the Super Bowl, but in terms of being better than what you think they initially would be. You probably think they're going to be the worst team in the NFL next year. But with the NFC South being in the state that it is, New Orleans, maybe they mess around, win 8, 9 games because they can capitalize off their weak division. Kellen Moore has a chance to succeed because all of the other teams in this division are not in a good state. They're in somewhat of disarray in their own regards. They have the ninth overall pick in this year's draft. You got eighth picks along with that. And you do inherit a pretty talented team. You got Chris Olave, Raheem Shaheed, Alvin Kamara. Your offensive line does have a few bright spots on the offensive tackle spots. And defensively, Kool-Aid McKinstry, I like him a lot. You got a few players that can play, but Kellen Moore is walking into a dead-end job, and there's a strong chance his head coaching career might be over before it's even started due to how difficult of a situation that he's inheriting.